Okay, so part two. Anyways, they called, they asked me if they could switch my time over, and I said yes. And then they asked me, how I was feeling, and I just asked, um, I've been having for the past like 4 days or so, on and off, I just kind of get this really dull kind of ache in my back where I would get my period cramps. And they feel just like them too, like either what they would feel like the last day of my period or maybe the day before I got it. And they don't come and go like contractions, but every like 3 or 4 hours I'll get one and I'll be a little crampy for like 10 to 15 minutes and then it'll go away. And they don't hurt, like, they don't like kill me. I just, my stomach isn't tightening or anything when it's doing it. So I wasn't worried, but I was just asking, I forgot even how I said it, but I was trying to ask, like what I could do to kind of like ease that or whatever, because I don't want to be popping like Tylenol and everything, every couple of hours. And they said, oh, you need to go over to OB right away. And I was like, what? I'm like, well, that sounds like early labor. And I was like, I don't think I'm in labor. It's been happening for like 3 days. Uh, but I went over there because like I didn't even get a shot. They were like, we'll call right now, honey. Bye. I was like, oh, okay. So I walked over there. OB's expecting me. You know, got let into the OB department, our OB department at my hospital. I don't know if this is like a all hospital thing or just my hospital. Not really sure, but it's key access. So we like not key, but punch code. Sorry, punch code access. So they let me in, go through the doors and everything, and they put me in the outpatient room, and they had me put on like the weird belly ace bandage band thing and had me put a gown on. And I left my bra and my underwear on because I figured, because the only thing that they had mentioned was that they were going to put me on the monitors. It's like, oh, okay. So I left that on. Got in, came in, they had me give a urine sample. I had already went to the bathroom just like minutes before the OB had called, so I didn't get a chance to, or so I just like had to like squeeze out like 2 drops, and luckily that was enough. Anyways, so they hooked me up and had me like lay back on the bed, and they turned on the contraction monitor thing, and they showed me like, oh, this is the baby's heartbeat, this is his movements, and this is your contractions. And I'd just get like little Braxton Hicks ones. That's all that was measuring. It would go up. The highest one hit like 30, and I wasn't feeling them. It was just yeah. So they hooked me up to those, and they're like, oh, it doesn't look like you're having actual contractions, but we have to have it go for 15 minutes so we can kind of get like an idea. And I was like, okay, sure. So they had me hooked up for like 5 minutes, and they kept losing the baby's heartbeat because he'd move, and then whenever, or just slightly like move, and so they'd drop, like he would drop off the chart completely, like he didn't have a heartbeat. And I wasn't worried because I knew why it was happening, because he was moving. But when they'd pick him back up, it would be like really low for a second, and then it would be like really high, and then it would like average out again. And it turns out it was just like their monitor and stuff. But anyway, so they're like, well, it's been kind of weird, so we're going to have to monitor you for an hour. So I laid in there for an hour, and my phone wasn't working, which kind of worries me about the whole labor thing, because apparently my phone doesn't get service in the OB department. So I'm not sure how I'm going to update everybody. I hope somebody else that's with me has a phone that I can use. So anyway, otherwise you guys won't like know anything. I'll just come one day and be like, hey, I have a baby, guess what? But no, so they monitored me for an hour, and they had to come in a couple times and move the monitors around because things weren't picking up right. They asked me how the baby's movement had been, and I said it had kind of, like I was explaining in my part 1, it was different. It wasn't as big and as much as it used to be, blah blah blah. So, you know, they were watching that, and I could see when he'd move, it would put like a little line, and I could feel it, you know, but it was just really light. And so, but they were like, oh, well, he's moving. And like, well, I knew he was. I just said it was different, you know. So anyway, I sat in there for an hour. They came in. They were like, yeah, you're not in labor. You know, the cramping you're having and the Braxton Hicks, it's just your body kind of gearing up. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I didn't think I was in labor. I was just curious about, you know, like what to do. And they're like, well, we can't let you go quite yet. We want to make sure what the doctor wants us to do. So they called my doctor. My doctor was like, yeah, go ahead, send her home. Tell her to take a bath. And I was like, wow. I wish you could have just told me. Like, I know why they sent me over, but I wish they could have just told me that on the phone and, like, take a bath, you know? So, yeah. So I spent, like, an hour and a half in there to get told that I wasn't in labor. I was like, okay. The kind of funny, painful side of that story was I mentioned I had left my underwear and my bra on because I thought they were just measuring my stomach. And the nurse comes in after I'd had the monitors on for a few minutes, and she's like, oh, I'm going to check your cervix. And I was like, what? Because I haven't had my cervix checked yet because I'm only 31 weeks. So I didn't really know what to expect, but I didn't think it was going to be horrible, you know, like, I don't know why, but I just kind of assumed, like, I kind of pictured sort of like a pap smear sort of thing, except obviously with a finger, or, you know, instead of like a swab, you know. But so I wasn't, you know, worried. They had me put like my bottoms of my feet together and go, like, you know, like bend it, so make like frog legs, she said. And I was like, oh, okay. And I did that. She like lubed up her finger and was like, and I like almost came off the table. I was not expecting that, and I'm not trying to scare you if you have not had a baby or had a PAPS or a cervix check yet, but that hurt. I don't know if it was her, or I don't know if they're like always like that. No one ever told me they were, but it hurt so bad. And it was like this pressure, and then it was, you know, I could feel her like poking to see if it was like open or whatever, I guess. And I just felt like she was going for my tonsils. I was like, oh my gosh. And I had to like kind of lift my butt up off the thing to make kind of like a weird arch or whatever, so I don't know. And then she like finally, it seemed like forever, but I know she was only for like a minute, you know. She's like, oh, you're not dilated. I was like, thanks. Might be after that, but and they warned me that I might have like a little bloody discharge or whatever, and I didn't, so I guess that was good. But yeah, so that was pretty much my story of the week. It was so random, you know. I was feeling good all day, well, you know, as good as I can feel when I feel huge, and I was kind of crampy, but I was feeling good. I wasn't really tired, and then they sent me over, and it was just completely random. So I'll stop talking now. I'll show you my belly, and then we'll call it good, because my 5-minute second video has turned into a 10-minute one. So I'm slowly running out of clothes to wear, which is why you probably see me in the same clothes a lot. Sorry about that. But up until maybe like 3 weeks or so ago, I've been able to fit even into my other shirts, my pre-pregnancy shirts, as long as, you know, I had like maternity pants on or whatever, so I didn't have like the belly that was like this, you know. I have shorts on right now, but and just here lately, they're tight and they're not comfortable, so I have like 4 maternity shirts and like 2 baggy shirts that I can wear and feel like comfortable in. Big belly. It kind of weird. Whenever I do these videos, it looks to me like I'm like so, like I just kind of come out, but then when I look at myself like in the mirror, I don't feel like that, but maybe I do. Anyways, I'm not going to measure myself today because I already kept you guys busy for way too long. So I will see you guys next week, Wednesday after my 32-week appointment. Bye.